Senator Harry Reid has already made up his mind, and not in argument against Mrs. Clinton, but James Comey, the FBI director, who Harry Reid says broke federal law. The former Clinton Special Counsel Lanny Davis, who agrees with Reid. Exactly what law was broken, Lanny?
Well, first of all, there is a law about criminal investigations being kept secret unless they're spoken publicly through an indictment. There are a number of laws, and there's certainly rules regarding grand jury information or related to a criminal investigation. You're not allowed to disclose anything publicly. That's based upon due process and fairness. But just listen to your own expression, and you know how much I express that I respect you, Neil. You said that according to metadata, seems to suggest. Can you imagine on national television if the answer were Neil Cavuto? Seems to suggest. Mr. Comey didn't say that. The metadata is a reference to what? A news report from an anonymous source?
What if it is the case?
The answer is you don't know what the facts are, and you just put out on national television.
And you don't know
exactly.
if Mr. Comey did anything illegal, but you're already assuming he did.
I said it is illegal to reveal the results of a criminal investigation or anything about a criminal investigation.
You better talk to the former Attorney General Eric Holder, who said Director Comey broke with some fundamental principles. I fear he has unintentionally and negatively affected public trust in both the Justice Department and the FBI, that it's his conduct that might be in question here, but not whether he broke the law.
Well, read further into what he wrote and what a former Deputy Attorney General, Republican, as well as a Democratic, wrote in an op-ed page, and revealing anything in a criminal investigation by the FBI or any prosecutor before publicly through an indictment that gives people a chance to defend themselves is illegal. Now, whether or not Mr. Comey acted illegally with the requisite intent, criminal intent, he came to the conclusion that Mrs. Clinton did not have a criminal intent.
Well, I don't want to go too far afield here, but do you find that this is the same Harry Reid who 4 years ago was putting out a spurious charge about Mitt Romney that he hadn't paid any taxes? It turns out that that was wrong. Some might have interpreted that as a lie. I mean, so who can we trust on this?
So I'm giving you a fact about what Mr. Comey did. He revealed in a letter to Congress that he's now looking into something pertaining to an investigation.
Well, what would you do as a very good lawyer in your own right, and you know that all of a sudden your agents have presented you through an investigation that had nothing to do with the original investigation, but thousands of emails that came to light, that if it looked like you hadn't acted or done something, the other side would criticize you, or a lot of folks would criticize you for sitting on them, and after the election saying, well, why the heck did you sit on them? He's just alerting people to the fact that, look, I thought this was closed. We have thousands of emails which have to be examined and looked at. That's all he's saying.
Sitting on them is, you use that expression twice. You can't define the them because Mr. Comey didn't define the them. In fact, he explicitly said in his statement...
Do you think that there are thousands of emails out there? Do you think there are thousands of emails down? That's all I'm saying.
Hey, Neil, if you ask me a question and I'm within the first 10 seconds of answering and you talk over me and interrupt me...
You're not answering me. Do you think there are thousands of emails out there?
Neil, this is the first time I'm ever going to say this to you. If you're not going to let me answer your question, then I'm not going to be a guest on your show. I'm doing my best.
You have said it before. You said that exact thing before when I simply asked you a difficult question. I'm just asking you, do you think, Lenny, there are thousands of emails out there? Because that was his reason, that was his logic for bringing this to committee heads' attention.
I will answer your question if you promise not to interrupt me. I don't know how many, whether it's one or thousands, because Mr. Comey in his letter didn't tell us. Mrs. Clinton is saying, tell us. Tell us what you mean by the word pertinent. You said you don't even know whether it's significant. We have news reports, you quoted news reports about metadata. The Los Angeles Times reported that they don't even know whether they were from or to Hillary Clinton. So what I am saying, to answer your question directly, is we don't know whether there were thousands or one, and he says he doesn't know, so he should have waited, and when he sent a letter, he should have disclosed a lot more than he did.
But would you have called him into question if he didn't act at all? And this came to his attention, and it turns out that there's quite a bit here that he might have ignored. In other words, do you think that he was kind of between a rock and a hard place? To not do anything would have then been a sign that he was influencing an election by not doing anything after the fact.
So the answer is no, because he didn't have any information to reveal that needed to be revealed, because he had
But we don't know.
facts.
We don't know.
He has told us that he doesn't know. He told us he doesn't even know whether it's, quote, significant. So it was way premature to write a letter, much less within 10 days of an election, unless he was ready to reveal facts.
Is that illegal? Is that breaking a law?
I said it may be illegal if he had the intent to reveal a criminal investigation or any investigation without the authority of the Attorney General. He's just an investigation entity. The FBI is not a prosecutor.
Okay.
His opinions are not legitimately expressed,
Lanny.
but certainly without having facts, he should never have sent that letter.
All right. Lanny Davis, thank you very much. We'll have more to this.
You're welcome.